The broadcast is now starting. All attendees
Good afternoon.
are
This
in
is Brad
listen-only
Biley,
mode.
social media advisor with Haley Marketing Group. I want to welcome everybody to the social media portion of our webinar series. So everyone's aware, I do have Todd Lewandowski, Director of Content Marketing, on today's webinar as well, so that he can answer any questions that you may have about the direct mail or content marketing initiative of the program, while I also address the social media aspect of the program.
Yeah, and to do that, you just want to use the questions box that's on the GoToWebinar interface there, and I'll jump in, and we'll also have some time at the end too. So if there's any questions that you guys have about the process or any of the products in particular, please just use that question box either while we're going through it or at the very end.
So as we get started, I want to talk about the main goal of this program and really the main goal of social media marketing. Jay Baer, who is the CEO and founder of Convince and Convert, said the goal is not to be good at social media. The goal is to be good at business because of social media. And that's really what we're trying to accomplish with Social Gold. We're not trying to be great at social media. We're trying to leverage the tool that is social media and be good at business because of that tool. So if we look at the main goal of Social Gold, we're really going to funnel that down into two main goals: to increase applications from qualified candidates and to increase job orders and contact form submissions from prospective clients. All of our initiatives throughout, all the tactics throughout this initiative are designed to funnel candidates and prospective clients back to the website, back to a form, so that they can ultimately get a hold of your team and we can turn them from a social user into an actual name and somebody that reaches out to you for your services. So what can you expect from Social Gold and our Social Gold program that we've put together for MRINetwork? On a monthly basis, and really on a daily basis, you're going to be getting social media content published on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. The majority of companies on the call right now and the majority of the companies on the pilot program have gotten us all the login information that we need. We're going to discuss that later and really fine-tune what we need from those outstanding companies. But on a daily basis, you're going to be getting social media content published on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Along with that, you'll be getting 1 hour of monthly consultation. We're still fine-tuning that and really refining what will be in that consultation, whether it'll be a webinar series like this where we talk about a specific tactic or specific initiative that we want the organizations and really you to take part in, or if it'll be an hour call with everybody. Really trying to fine-tune that, and we'll work with Patrick to make sure that that's effective. You'll also be getting access to our creative team in the sense of branded social sharing images. I'm really excited to showcase these images later in the presentation. I have about 4 or 5 slides where we can look at what our team has been doing behind the scenes, and I'm very fired up about it, and I hope you are too. But these branded sharing images are going to drive people back to the resource center content. They're going to drive people back to holidays, fun facts that we have put together, different motivational quotes, and different now hiring images. So while the main goal is ultimately to drive people back to the website and back to the resource center, we're going to do that through the use of different imagery. The last element that you're going to get with Social Gold is analytics and reporting. On a quarterly basis, we'll be putting together different reports and different metrics and benchmarks so that you can see exactly how this program is doing. What we want to do is showcase exactly what our team has done, the success we've seen from that, so that we can make the right decisions moving forward, so that we can make great decisions, pivot the program appropriately, and make sure that we're achieving the highest level of ROI. As I mentioned on the slide before, we're going to be looking at sharing resource center content, holidays, fun facts, motivational quotes, and different now hiring images. If we actually look at the calendar, I broke down January so that everybody could see what will be going out consistently starting Monday, January 15th. We're going to be starting with different holidays, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. From there, we'll be sharing different content back to the resource center. We'll be mixing in now hiring imagery. We're mixing in those fun facts that we put together that we'll showcase in a little bit. On the weekend, what I'm excited about is we're going to be sharing the same article that we shared during the week, but we're going to be doing it in a different way. If you think about social media, and even when you're on social media, you don't always see all of the possible content, possible stories that you could. Facebook has a really difficult time getting that content out to everybody. So what we want to do is repurpose that article, share it multiple times in multiple ways so that we can get as many eyes in front of it as possible. As we continue the week after, we'll look at more holidays. Again, more content back on the Resource Center, and then we have more of those fun facts. That was a little bit of a show and tell. As I said, I'm very excited about what our creative team was able to put together throughout the setup phase of this pilot program. If you look at the examples on the screen, what we've done is we've incorporated company branding, and we also showcased 3 holidays for each month. Right now, we're ready for January and February. Halfway through February, we'll start focusing on March. But these are the holiday visuals that'll go out over the next couple weeks. Groundhog Day, Valentine's Day, President's Day. Gets a little fun with Happy Backwards Day and Hot Sauce Day. But it's something to break up the content, break up the articles with something fun yet branded. If we look at holidays after that, we're going to get into motivational quotes. So our team put together 10 different motivational quotes from different thinkers and, again, branded those. So they have company branding carried on from social media back to the website, back to the Resource Center. What we want is that branding to be front and center. We want people that as they click a link and they go back to your website, everything is consistent. Consistency is big on social media. We want readers, social users to know who they're dealing with as they see that content. So what we did is we put the branding, again, front and center, but we mixed it up with great motivational quotes that'll get sprinkled in on Mondays. If we move on, we're going to show a little bit of the now hiring imagery. Again, branding's front and center. We have strong copy, and then that would ultimately link back to your website so that an applicant can either get a hold of you or apply for an available job. For Fun Fact Friday, I worked with Patrick to really refine these and make sure that they were fun, yet still thought-worthy. We didn't want to do throwaway facts, so we put together a series of 10 different fun facts that we can roll out over the next 10 weeks, starting on the 15th and then through that week. But again, branding is consistent, front and center, and then we have something to break up that social copy. So we're not just sharing blog post after blog post back to the Resource Center, but we're engaging the social audience. We're sharing great content, great thumb-stopping content that as people scroll through their newsfeed, they'll see it, they'll stop, they'll read it, and they'll take the next action. It's a continuation of the Fun Fact Fridays. I just wanted to showcase more of the branding and really showcase everybody on the call so that you could get an example of what yours specifically would look like. But if you look at it, we have different quotes about the average person, how fast they fall asleep, or what Toto from The Wizard of Oz was paid during filming. Again, fun facts, something that'll get people to stop when they see it in timeline, when they see it on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and then take action. And last, but certainly not least, we have branded imagery for all of the Resource Center articles. So as we link back to your specific Resource Center and we link back to an article on your specific website, we want to make sure that the image is branded for you. We want to make it look great, make the branding, as I've said multiple times, front and center on the imagery. We want to make sure that if it's condensed on mobile or it's expanded on desktop, you can still see the logo. You can still see what the image is trying to convey. But ultimately, all of these images, along with the 6 others that we've put together so far, will link back to your specific Resource Center on your specific website. So again, I wanted to just mention what we will be doing over the pilot program. Be showcasing daily social media content on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. We've set aside an hour of monthly consultation. Our team is already front-loaded this time and created these branding social sharing images. As the pilot program progresses, we'll put together more fun facts, more motivational quotes, more holidays for later in the year. And then as Resource Center content comes in from Brafton, we'll build out imagery for those specific articles. And last, we'll look at the analytics. We're going to look at what's working not only for one specific organization, but across the board. If we see that one article is continuously being read day after day, then we'll start to share that article more. If we see one article isn't getting a lot of play on social, it's not getting shared, it's not being read or consumed, then we might slide that back in the strategy. But we're always looking at the data so that we can ultimately come back to our goals. How is the social media tactics, how are they ultimately driving more applications, more form submissions, and more job orders? That brings us to this point, what we need from you. So while our team will be sharing content on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter on the company pages, what we ask of you is as you see that content on the company page, share it, like it, comment on it from your personal account. What that's going to do is expand the reach of that post. More people will see it, and ultimately it'll build out your branding, but get more people to consume that article, whether it's that shareable image that we made. What we really need you to do is share it, like it, comment on it. Share it with your audience, share it with your friends. A simple like goes a really long way, especially on LinkedIn. If you see that content show up, or maybe every other day, just go into the company LinkedIn page and click like on it. What I encourage you to do, though, is definitely be consistent with it. And to get the most impact out of this program, we need your help as well. We'll be front loading the time, making sure that all that content, great visuals are getting out on the company pages, but we need help by using your personal pages as well. So share, like, and comment. How are we going to measure success? I touched on this a couple slides ago, but we'll be looking at Google Analytics. A lot of you have given me in the social media account access to your independent UA code. What we'll be able to do is look at how many people came from Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, ultimately made it back to your website and took an action. Our team installed a universal UA code, so a Google Analytics code that is on all of the subdomains that we set up, all of the resource centers. So we'll be able to say collectively how many people on a monthly basis came from Facebook and looked at one specific article on a very high level. So we'll be able to take it from a high level of how many people came from a certain platform, read an article and took action, and then how many people from a smaller level of just a site-wide level took that action. If you haven't set up Google Analytics yet, or you haven't granted our team access, please reach out to me after the call so that we can figure out our next steps for that. I know a lot of you have, but there are some that still have not. Another way that we'll measure success is through social insights. Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, they all have their specific dashboards that we'll be monitoring throughout the program. We want to make sure that content's getting liked, it's getting shared, it's most importantly getting clicked on. Social tactics and making sure people like content is a really good feel-good stat. When people engage with content and click like, it feels good for us to see. But ultimately, we want to make sure that they're reading the article. They're taking the next step in going from social, reading the article, and then taking an action. So we'll be looking at those social insights as well. So that brings us to our next steps. These are the offices ready for launch on the 15th. If you see your name here, congratulations. Everything is all set. Our team is ready to go with your first piece of content going out on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Which brings us to the three that are not on the list. MRA Global Sourcing, Management Resources of Lancaster, and UHC Solutions. I know some of you may have been reaching out to me while I put together the slides, so if we have some of this access, that's fine. I have it documented. That just didn't get to the slides by the time the presentation was put together. If you haven't gotten me everything, though, please, my contact information is going to be at the end of this presentation. So we will, please reach out to me so that we can figure out our next steps so that we're ready to go on Monday, because that is our launch date, January 15th. And I really want to make sure everybody is ready for that. Todd, if you want to touch on the next steps for the direct mail and content portion.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Brad. There's just a couple people that we're still waiting on a few things from. For data lists, Omega Point Partners and GoVig, we still need your data. And for subdomain setup, MRA and SC Riverside. Other than that, we have just about everything that we need here. If you haven't gotten back to Kelly with approval of the direct marketing pieces, please do so as soon as possible so we can get everything printed for you and start these campaigns. But other than that, from my side of things, we've got pretty much everything ready to go.
So at that time, Todd and I are going to sit on the phone for a little bit, and we'd love to answer any questions that are still remaining for the pilot program. As I had mentioned, I'm ready to launch on the 15th. I know Todd has a lot of things in the pipeline on his side, so if there's any questions that anybody might have, we'd both love to address those now so that we're in a great spot to get everything rolling.
Yeah, a question just came in. Is there a date yet for the direct mail campaign to start? That just all depends on getting approval back to Kelly and when we will get everything printed. But Kelly will be in touch with all of the offices to let them know what dates everything will be starting. And then we will be taking care of all of the production of everything, stuffing the envelopes, getting everything ready to go, and then we will be shipping them to the individual offices. So as soon as you have them, you can drop them right in the mail that day. Can you still add names to the list for direct mail? Unless Kelly has told you that your stuff has gone to the printer, then yes, you can. But if you do have names to add, please send those in as soon as possible. Brad, a question for you here from Sam. How will this affect our current social media strategies? Are we still able to post content on our own?
Sam, it'd be great if you continued to post content on your own, leveraged your own sharing tactics. With this calendar in mind, what you can do is offset what we're already sharing with your own strategies and your own tactics. So if you know that on Monday we're going to be running content for Martin Luther King Day, which is a holiday, later in the day or earlier in the morning, you can share your own resource, your own article. Maybe it's an article from the Resource Center, or maybe it's an article that you found on Forbes that you love. You can then showcase that as well. But I definitely encourage you to share your own content on top of what we're already doing. For the offices that don't share content on their own, that's totally fine. We're going to be handling daily social media management. But Sam, for your specific question, yes, go ahead and share what you'd like.
The question, can you buy extra copies of the mailing documents? Yep, you just need to coordinate that with Kelly, and she'll be able to take care of everything on that end of things. Question from Julia. When do we need to get you names for the email only part of the campaign? Again, as soon as possible. Sooner rather than later. We will be working on the dates for all of that. So basically what's going to happen with the email side of things for the first Friday and for any top candidate mailings that you'd like to do, we will need the data. We usually try and ask for about 2 days ahead of time. So I'll be letting you know all those dates here in about a week or so. And then you can submit your updated data. We'll schedule the first Friday mailings for you. And then each month we'll just kind of repeat that process. Patrick just wanted to send a reminder, if you're used to sending First Friday on social or subscribe to the First Friday RSS feed, please stop. Haley will now share that for you. Thanks, Patrick. Let's see. Yeah, Alan, if you can just shoot Brad an email about that Google Analytics question, and he can handle that offline between you and Reagan. And let's see. I think that's about it. We'll hang on for another minute or two here, see if there's any more questions coming in.
Josh, I see you were asking about Google Analytics. I did get your email. I just have to confirm that the social media account has full access to it. I hadn't been able to go into that specific account and take a look yet. I did get your email, though, and I'll be reaching out this afternoon. And Jim, just another point, I got your email just now. The slides can be available. I will send those. Todd, can I send those to you, and can you send that out to everybody?
Yeah, what we'll do is we'll get this recording downloaded and formatted and everything, and we will send a link to that, to the recording, along with all the slides, just like we did with the direct marketing one this week. All right, looks like there's no other questions coming in. If you do have any questions, you can email anything specific about the social media side of things. You can email Brad directly. Anything having to do with the direct mail or email side of things, you can email me. And like I said, also make sure that you're in contact with Kelly to get her any approvals on the direct marketing products so that we can get those over to the printer and get those back to you as soon as we can. Again, thanks everybody for listening, and we will get this all set up, formatted, and we'll send you over a recording for it hopefully in a day or two.